Hey everyone, what's going on? A new Spider-Man trailer just dropped a couple days ago, and I thought it would be fun to talk about it. I prepared a glass of iced cold French vanilla coffee. It's very tasty. I'm never paying for overpriced coffee again because I'm just going to make my own from now on. But I digress. I'm just going to go through this trailer, talk about what I noticed and what I think is going to happen in the actual film. Right off the bat, we have Scorpion holding a SWAT guy up by the throat. We can tell this is Scorpion because he's got the tail here. Yay. Crazy that we're finally getting a live action version of Scorpion. Yeah, it took them long enough.
What is happening?
Okay, so it looks like Spider-Man's going to be wearing a more traditional suit. The costume here looks more homemade, which I like. I'm not a big fan of this version of Spider-Man, and part of that is because everything was just given to him by Tony Stark. You know, Tony Stark gives him the suit in Homecoming, and then he gives him an armored Spider-Man suit in Avengers Infinity War, and he has all of these gadgets, and he's got retractable spider legs on his back, and it's like, okay, I don't want a discount version of Iron Man. I want to see Spider-Man. I want the traditional Spider-Man where he makes his own suit, he makes his own gadgets. You know, I don't want Tony Stark to just give him everything. But with all that being said, it looks like they're bringing things back down to basics, so, you know, that's good. I'm glad that he's going to be making his own suit and things are going to be a little more homemade this time around.
Happening to me?
Alright, so here we have Scorpion fighting Spider-Man, finally. If we rewind just a little bit, we can get a better shot of his tail here. Looks very biomechanical, kind of reminds me of his design in Treyarch Spider-Man 3. Definitely not the classic Scorpion design, so it looks like they're blending in styles here. They're going to have a more classic-looking Spider-Man combined with a more realistic, mechanical-looking version of Scorpion.
Did you miss me, Spidey?
So here we have Michael Mando in the Scorpion suit, and I really like this actor. I thought he was one of the best parts of Better Call Saul. He played Nacho Varga. Nacho was a great character, had some of the best scenes in that show. And we saw Michael Mando as Scorpion in Spider-Man Homecoming, but he didn't have the Scorpion suit. So, you know, once again, it's crazy that it's taken this long to finally get Scorpion. We've been getting Spider-Man movies for how long? 2002, right? So glad to finally be seeing him. And here we have the shot of the tail. Very cool. Looks like an actual stinger. Scorpion's pissed, man. He wants to stab Spider-Man in the face. It's kind of messed up. So the storyline that they're going with this time around is that Spider-Man is he's mutating. He's going to have this spider instinct, and that's going to kick in. A lot of people are speculating that this is going to be Man Spider. I don't think Disney has the balls to do Man Spider. They're going to look at Man Spider and they're going to be like, that's not commercial enough. That's not going to bring in as much money. It's going to be too scary for the kids. It doesn't have a wide appeal, a mass market appeal. It sucks because Man Spider looks so cool, especially when you look at his animated series design. I think they're just going to turn Peter's eyes black here and there throughout the film, and they're going to give him little differences, little mutations, little tweaks in his character, but I don't think they're going to go like full-blown six-armed tarantula.
I'm losing my mind.
Alright, so here he kicks the shit out of Scorpion, which leads me to believe that Scorpion's not going to be in the movie for very long. I think he's going to show up for the opening. They're going to fight for a few minutes. Scorpion's going to have the upper hand, and then Spider-Man's instinct is going to kick in, and he's going to nearly murder Scorpion. Watch what he does to this guy.
Totally out of control.
Are you fucking kidding me right here? Like, alright, so not only does that look kind of cartoony, but it's a little disappointing because I actually want to see Scorpion have a decent presence in a live action movie. And, you know, if they give him the Amazing Spider-Man 2 treatment where Rhino just shows up at the end for a few minutes and then it's, you know, it's done, that's going to be very disappointing. I want Scorpion to have, you know, to be an actual threat. But if Spider-Man beats him in the first 5 minutes and then he's like, oh shit, I have to get help for this. I have to go see someone to help manage my mutations. Then there's no tension between Spider-Man and Scorpion. So even if Scorpion comes back later on in the film with, you know, upgrades to his suit, you're not really going to feel much because you know Spider-Man's just going to beat him again. I think there's a lot of potential to have a movie that focuses on Scorpion. I mean, in the traditional storyline, you know, he makes a deal with Jameson and a scientist to put on the Scorpion suit and to hunt down Spider-Man, but then the suit gets stuck onto him, right? He can't remove it. He can't take it off. Can you imagine a character like putting on a suit and then the suit just becomes their skin over time and they're not able to take it off and then they just go crazy and they become a villain? I think there's a lot of good potential there for a dramatic storyline, but it looks like they're just turning Scorpion into like this little prop that shows up to you know, to keep the story going and to motivate Spider-Man into tracking down Bruce Banner.
I gotta fix whatever this is right now.
Final semester MIT.
Dad, who do you think is actually watching these?
Maybe someone.
Alright, so here Peter Parker's watching reels posted by his old friends. At the end of No Way Home, everybody just conveniently forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But not only that, they don't remember him at all. Personally, I don't like No Way Home. I think that's a pretty bad movie, but I know a lot of people love it. And if you like No Way Home, that's fine, but, you know, I have my reasons for disliking it. And I don't mean this to turn into a No Way Home review, but that film did reset things, and it does explain why Peter's friends in this movie don't know who he is.
Okay, well, bye, someone.
It's kind of interesting that he puts his web shooters on his wrists like that. Traditionally, Spider-Man wears his web shooters under the costume, which is smart because you don't want your enemies knowing, you know, where your web shooters are. Because if I'm a bad guy and I'm fighting Spider-Man, I'll just be like, oh, I'll target your web shooters and then you won't be able to shoot webs anymore.
What the?
So here it looks like he's going to have organic webbing, probably part of his mutation. This looks pretty bad in my opinion. That looks like a 2D picture. So I hope they finalize the effects before the movie comes out. These MCU movies always look a bit off to me. They don't really look as vibrant as, you know, for example, the Sam Raimi movies did. They look very artificial, very commercial. You know, they have to pump one out every year, every couple years. So I'm hoping that they beef up the effects here.
Dr. Banner, you found a way to suppress mutating DNA, right?
Have you seen me with this?
Okay, so Peter goes to Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner is now wearing this device that suppresses his Hulk transformations. Again, this doesn't make much sense to me because in Avengers Endgame, he embraced being Smart Hulk, so now he's decided that he doesn't want to be Hulk anymore. You know, these characters just go back and forth depending on what the studio wants. It's like, okay, now we want Savage Hulk to return. But it's like, if you bring back Savage Hulk, you're contradicting the character development that you made for him in previous movies. So it's cool, like, as a comic book fan who wants to see the more traditional Hulk, but as someone who wants, like, you know, a series of movies where characters develop over time, this probably isn't the best decision. At the same time, it's like, I'm not really even a big Hulk fan. You know, I have my biases for certain characters, and to be honest, I don't even really want to see Hulk. I think there's a lot of characters that they could have gone with that they could have spent screen time on. But they want to bring in Hulk because Hulk is a popular character in these MCU movies, so that's why he's here.
Run.
So could you get rid of the bad aspects but keep the good?
How would you decide what parts of nature are good or bad?
Sorry about that.
You're not one of my students, are you?
To me, this could have been any scientist from Spider-Man, right? It could have been Dr. Connors, like in the animated series. It could have been, I don't know, Jackal. It could have been Norman Osborn. It could have been Otto Octavius. It could have been a character that we've never seen before in a live-action movie. it's a Spider-Man movie. I feel like there should be more Spider-Man characters. I don't really want to see Hulk, but that's just me.
It appears we're faced with a threat we can't control. One we can't even see.
Alright, so people are speculating that this is going to be Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. It's like, okay, so now we're putting X-Men into a Spider-Man movie. It's like, you know, I would have preferred seeing an X-Men movie that introduces these characters, like a dedicated X-Men movie, and then you can, like, bring them into future Spider-Man movies as cameos or whatever. But there are so many Spider-Man characters that are not getting any attention. You know, you have Black Cat, you have a proper Venom, a proper Carnage, Toxin, Hobgoblin, Demogoblin, Kane, Jackal, Beetle, Hydro-Man, Spot, Kraven, Hammerhead, Silver Sable, Morbius, Smythe. It's like, where are these characters? There are so many Spider-Man characters out there, and we're still going back to Hulk. We're still going back to the X-Men. I don't mind them making cameo appearances, but I don't want, like, huge portions of the movie to be structured around them. So it looks like Jean Grey is casting her telekinesis, freezing people.
The only one who's immune to it.
Punisher and Spider-Man are both immune to it for some reason. I don't really care why. Okay, here it looks like we're seeing through Spider-Man's perspective, and there's going to be AI built into his suit. You know, he's got location here, he's got coordinates, he's got, well, maybe like distance or meters. He's got Wi-Fi here. It's like, I don't know, I don't think you really need this stuff for Spider-Man.
You're the only one who can sense it.
Alright, this shot right here I really like. Everything looks very colorful here. You know, all the buildings look colorful. Spider-Man looks like he stands out. The cars look like they stand out. A big problem that I have with these MCU movies is that everything looks artificial, everything looks really muddy. But in this shot right here, everything looks very colorful and everything looks very vibrant. I want to see more of this. I'm hoping that the movie has a distinct look to it.
And what do you think they're looking for?
Oh, see, you stumbled across my board. I'm not one of those weirdos, I swear.
He's a little weird. I'm MJ.
You two don't know each other?
Alright, so this would suck here. This is Flash, Peter's old bully from the other movies, and he is making the moves on MJ. I feel like this has the potential for some really good drama. You know, part of the reason why I love Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 so much is because those movies felt like actual dramas, just with superhero elements mixed in. I want to see more drama in my movies. I want to actually feel something. I don't want to go and see another boring action movie. I think the idea of, you know, watching your friends move on without you, completely forgetting about you, you know, seeing your ex date other people, like, that is relatable and that is painful, so hopefully the movie focuses on these elements.
Yo, Spider-Man! You okay? You get rid of that monster inside you?
So it looks like Jean Grey is body hopping, taunting Spider-Man. She's probably going to be more of an antagonist until the end, where she and Spider-Man have to team up together to take down a bigger threat. I don't know who the main villain of this movie is. I don't think that's been announced. I'm hoping the main villain will be a Spider-Man villain, perhaps someone that we haven't seen before, so that should be interesting.
I might go see how MJ's doing.
You're not gonna get away with this.
Okay, so it looks like Jean Grey just told Spider-Man, I'm gonna go see how MJ is doing, and now Hulk's wrist device has been destroyed.
He might.
So she's doing the classic villain arm thing, you know, you have your arms to your sides and then you slowly raise them up, like, behold, look at my plan, look at what I'm doing. Every villain does this. Except Jean Grey is traditionally a superhero, so she's probably going to go through an arc where, you know, she's bad at first, but then she turns good, and I don't know, maybe Professor X shows up at the end and invites her to the School of Mutants where she learns to be a good person. Who knows? But it looks like she triggers the transformation of Hulk.
I didn't know you could get that big.
It's so funny to me how we establish smart, self-aware Hulk in Avengers Endgame, and then we just say screw that and we go back to the classic Hulk. Now, to be honest, I do like Savage Hulk more than what Avengers Endgame did, but I don't like it when characters go back and forth throughout a series. We all know how that turned out for Star Wars.
But you're in danger. You just have to.
So he's trying to save MJ from Jean Grey. I hope there's more to the scene than what the trailer shows, because if Spider-Man just shows up at her apartment and is like, hello, I'm here to save you, and then MJ's like, okay, I will go with you, that's gonna feel very forced. In the first Spider-Man movie, you know, Mary Jane and Spider-Man had a couple scenes together. He saved her a couple times throughout the movie, so she learned that he was a good person through his actions up close. So hopefully they have some interactions before this scene in Brand New Day. I'm not gonna like it if he just shows up and he's like, come with me. Okay, I'll go with you.
Trust me.
Fine.
This whole thing can get really scary.
Who the hell is that?
It looks like Spider-Man's dropping off MJ with Punisher. I don't know why, like out of all the superheroes in this universe, he takes her to Punisher. But I like Punisher, you know, I have my biases. I like some characters more than other characters, and I'll be honest, I've never been a big Hulk fan. But I do like Punisher a lot more than I like Hulk, so I'm glad that Punisher's going to be in the movie. If I had to choose, I'd probably swap Punisher out for Black Cat, but, you know, that's just me. I grew up with the animated series, so I'm more used to seeing more traditional Spider-Man characters. I know Punisher's first appearance was in a Spider-Man comic book, but I consider Punisher to be Punisher. I don't really consider him to be a Spider-Man character.
Who the hell are you?
Frank, please. I don't have anywhere else to go.
By the people who love you.
Just gonna let him.
So this shot is nice too. I like how all the buildings they're colorful, you know, there's lights everywhere. And I want the movie to look colorful. I want it to look colorful during the day, but during the night, I want the night sky to be contrasted with lots of lights and colorful buildings.
Go by himself?
And here we have a scene where MJ's like, you know, she's giving Punisher the guilt trip, like, really? Like, you're not going to do anything? You're not going to help out? They probably have a disagreement earlier where Punisher's like, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not getting involved. Spider-Man's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And then MJ's going to be like, Punisher, man, what are you doing? Go help him out.
Love you because...
So this is the Hand, group of ninjas from Daredevil. I don't care, to be honest. I want to see more of Scorpion. I don't really care about the Hand.
you're you.
If you're gonna do something, you better do it now.
Never forget that. No matter how powerful you become.
And then he does the web tornado, and he's, you know, taking out all the ninjas. I don't really care, to be honest.
I miss you, mate.
So this is a reminder that Aunt May died in No Way Home. Hulk with a bunch of webbing. I don't give a shit.
Huh. All right. Just give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm not in high school anymore. Oh. Did you stretch? You a big stretcher? It's so good for you. You ready?
All right, July 31st. I don't know if I'll be checking it out day one. To be completely honest with you, I think this will be a fine movie. I think it'll be a 6 or a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I don't think it's going to be great. I don't even think it's going to be a genuinely good movie. I think it's going to be fine. It's going to work for what it is. And there's probably going to be aspects about it that I do like. And, you know, like I'm not a big Tom Holland Spider-Man fan. I'm not a big MCU fan. I don't even like most of these movies, but I love the Spider-Man character, right? So it's like, there's a new Spider-Man movie? Oh, I'm going to check that out. So leave your thoughts down below. What do you think about the trailer? Are you excited for Brand New Day? And what was your favorite thing about this trailer? For me, it was seeing Scorpion, but I don't think he's going to be in the movie very much. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.